Hello and welcome to Tree Town. I'm your host, as always, Ryan McCooch, and we are on location for the first time ever. We are here in the Arb. It's gorgeous out, and we are joined today by Will Eskay. Will, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Well, first and foremost, just jumping straight into, first let's talk about the Arb. Is this your first time in the Arb?
First time in the garden, seeing the flowers. We
Okay.
we swung by the river a couple weeks ago for a recovery session and took an ice bath in there.
It's cold water. It's good
Yeah.
for an ice bath.
Absolutely. Not supposed to drink it, though, I don't think.
Nah, river water I think you gotta avoid. How have you been liking Ann Arbor so far in your first couple of months here?
I've been loving it. Yeah, it's the first time I've really been away from the area I grew up in Maryland, and so I've been loving being out here. I wish the summer started a little earlier.
Yeah,
but,
it's been a bit cold.
Yeah, the weather now is perfect, and it's beautiful outside almost every day.
Definitely. So take me through your joining AFC Ann Arbor. Well, first and foremost, you played at Harrisburg Heat with Frenchie. Is that how you first found out about AFC Ann Arbor?
Yeah, definitely. So as our season was coming to an end in the MASL, Frenchie had brought up to me that he was coming here for the summer, and he spoke really highly of the program. He basically gave me a sales pitch, and I was totally hooked. And so, yeah, once he told me about it, I was into it. I got in contact with Eric, and after speaking with him, it was pretty much a done deal. I mean, he also spoke really highly of the group, and I got super excited about coming in.
Now, Harrisburg Heat is obviously in the Major Arena Soccer League. Did
Correct.
I get that acronym right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the big differences between indoor soccer and proper outdoor soccer for those who may not be aware?
Okay, so we'll start from the top. It's 5-on-5 and a goalie. The arena is similar to like a hockey rink.
Okay.
You play on turf, but not the kind of turf with the rubber pellets in it, more like a field hockey kind of turf.
Mhm.
And so you wear indoor shoes. You can wear turfs as well, but a lot of guys just wear like flats or futsal style shoes. There's 4 quarters. The score is really high. I think the majority of our games we were scoring 5, 6 or more goals.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it. Oh, subbing on the fly, that's a big thing too. So like hockey, you're in and out of the
okay.
game.
So like line change, you know?
Yeah, which is good, really good for rookies actually, because it gives you an opportunity to get involved really early, just to get a couple shifts in here and there. And so that was good for me and Frenchie to kind of just get some minutes early on, because it really helps you get acclimated to the game quicker, I would say. But yeah, that's the MASL in a nutshell.
So that was your first year with an professional indoor soccer league, correct?
Yeah, correct. Finished my first year, and I really wasn't expecting to play indoor soccer. I kind of just fell into it, but and I didn't know much about it until I had played. But now my mentality on it's changed a lot, and I've really been enjoying it.
Okay. And you also previously played in the NPSL, correct, with FC Frederick?
Yeah, so FC Frederick is the club I played for since I was like 7, and they
Okay.
got an NPSL team maybe my freshman or sophomore year in college. And so I played for them for like 3 or 4 years in the summertime just because that's where I live.
Mhm.
And my dad's actually the executive director of the club, and so if I was in town, I didn't really have a choice. That's who I was going to play for.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some really good seasons from the start. I think we sort of did better every year, and then last year we won the conference and then lost in the playoffs against the Cosmos,
Mhm.
who's a really good NPSL side.
Yeah. So what are some of the differences between playing in the NPSL closer to home versus here in Ann Arbor? Is it a big adjustment for you?
Not so much. I mean, the differences I wouldn't say are attributed to the location. It's not
Okay.
being here, being there. I mean, at home I probably, I don't know, play more video games and get more meals
Yeah, fair
made
enough.
for me. But I think the biggest difference between being here and being there or being away from home is just the sort of professional attitude of the group. I mean, when you're out here on your own, with your only focus being soccer, I think your mentality is a little bit different than when I'm at home with everyone I know around me all the time.
Yeah. So focusing more on AFC Ann Arbor, this season so far been going well within the playoff hunt. What are some of the things you've liked about the season so far? Or some of the positives you've been able to take away?
So definitely teammates in general.
Yeah.
I love the guys that are in the group. definitely met a couple dudes that I think I'll end up being friends with for a long time. I like so a difference between playing for a local group and a team that guys are coming in from out of town for is everyone's on the same page. I would say pretty much everyone here wants to play pro soccer.
Yeah.
Rather than just train for summer until they go back to school. So that's a big difference, and I think that's shown in the practice every day and in the games. You can just see a little bit different mentality from all the players. And then I really, really like the coaching staff. I have a lot of respect for all of them, and they do a ton for the program that makes everything run really smoothly.
Do you have a most memorable game of the year so far?
Most memorable game? Yeah, probably the Open Cup game.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost, but that was a good game and that was fun. And there's this moment, one of my teammates and my roommate, Rufe, had a tackle just straight out of nowhere, one of the hardest challenges I've ever seen. And that always feels good being an underdog, putting in some meaty tackles on the guys who think they're supposed to be winning. So that was memorable for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned Jake's one of your friends on the team. What do you and the team do? Like, do you guys hang out frequently? You guys, go out to eat? What sort of thing?
Yeah, so you'd be surprised, particularly me and Rufe. We spend a lot of time, well, not as much anymore, but we've spent a lot of time in the beginning sort of just sitting down and talking about whatever book we were reading at the time. And
yeah.
Jake actually spends a bit of time studying and reading parts of the Bible, and so we would spend portions of our day sort of just talking about what it meant to him. And we have relatively different backgrounds as far as the religion stuff goes, and so we would have a lot of really good conversations just sort of talking about things and figuring it out on our own. And that was a really cool thing that I hadn't really had a chance to do, but we had so much free time early in the season. We spent a lot of time doing that. And then there's always a lot of video games. We do some wrestling at the house. I think I'm undefeated. I had a tough match with Jordan Montoya, but other than that, it was all pretty easy.
I'm sure Coach will be thrilled to hear that his players are wrestling.
Yeah, it's off days, trying to stay fit.
Gotta stay fit. Gotta stay ready for whatever comes at you.
Definitely.
Are you a big reader in general?
No, not at all. I probably read one book a year. I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks. So, I like listening to books, but I definitely am not a good reader. I think I've been reading the same book for 5 months, and I'm halfway through.
Oh man, what book?
Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. Okay. Highly recommend to anyone who's looking for a good book to read.
Okay, are you big into that sort of do you have a favorite genre of book, I guess is a better question?
Yeah, it changed recently. I would say I used to so do you know the book Ender's Game?
Yeah.
So that was kind of my style when I was growing up. I loved books like that. But now I think I'm more into the philosophical sort of analyzing life and kind of nonfiction, but opinionated, I would say.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I dig that. And then you talked about video games as well. What sort of video games are played at the house?
Now we're talking. So video games are a huge part of my life, actually.
Are they? Okay.
And I was thinking about why. I think a lot of athletes play a lot of video games. I think it's because it's something about the competition of it, something to get better at. And since we practice every day, you can't go and then play basketball and then play tennis because you'll burn yourself out. You're too tired. So you just sit around and play video games because it's something to compete in. But I like all kinds of video games. I used to love FIFA. Right now, my video game of choice is Super Smash Bros.
Okay, that's fun. It's
yeah,
a fun
I
game.
just got a Nintendo Switch, and I'm really into it. I would say my main character is Donkey Kong. So if anyone's looking to play against me online.
I played on the Switch for the first time a couple days ago, and I mean, it's just so much fun. My main is Sonic usually. Big
Nice.
Sonic fan.
Yeah, I think I'd probably smash you.
You probably would. I'm going to be honest. What
Just messing.
what sort of games did you grow up playing?
I was on the PS2 a lot. Games like Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot. I don't know if you know
Crash
those games.
Bandicoot.
And then through middle school and high school, it was all Halo and Gears
Okay.
of War and a little bit of Call of Duty as well.
Okay, but you were Halo over Call of Duty in that debate.
Oh, 100%. There's no question in my mind. Halo is a much better game.
So I take it then you're an Xbox guy too.
Yeah, you got that right. Through and through.
I just recently switched to, or not too recently. I've had a PS4 now for a while, and I don't know if I can go back to an Xbox, man.
Why is that? The players are worse, so it's easier for you?
I don't even play online. Why'd you have to call me out like that?
That's why most people switch, I think.
Nah, I don't know. I think it was the price. Price kind of did it too.
Yeah, that
But,
makes sense.
if I ever get online, that's good to know that maybe I'll have a fighting chance against some people. Do you have a preferred team in FIFA?
Um, Not really anymore. I mean,
Mhm.
whoever the best is that year, I just go with the
I respect
juggernauts.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're playing random teams, I'll probably be Barcelona, Bayern, or Madrid.
Okay.
I would say I'm just going for wins.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite team in real life?
Not really, actually. There's teams I don't like.
Okay. Who are the
So
teams you
for the
don't like?
EPL, I don't like Arsenal. I think I know
No.
too many of my friends are Arsenal fans, and I'm not into it. Yeah, I always root against Arsenal.
Okay.
I don't like Chelsea either. Root against Chelsea, and
Okay.
then I'll support like City, Liverpool, United, like good teams that I don't hate.
Okay. You just don't like London, it seems.
I guess so. Yeah, that must be it.
What about any other leagues that you follow particularly in depth?
Not really. Just Champions League.
No. Okay.
After the EPL. Yeah, and I don't watch the sports a ton actually. I would prefer to watch like sports teams, local teams around me, just like watch guys I know play than uh, watch whatever professional sports all the time. I mean, big games I'll always watch, playoffs for any sport, but I'm not super into sports. I think I get enough of it, you know.
Get enough of it playing.
Yeah.
So, you grew up in Virginia then, correct, or Maryland?
So I grew up in Maryland.
Okay.
I was born in Arizona, and
Okay.
when I was about 3 or 4, I moved to Maryland. And I grew up there, and my house is still in Frederick. And I have 4 siblings, so 5 total if you include me, 4 other
Okay.
ones. And so yeah, we had a lot of fun growing up in Maryland. I actually grew up on a farm from like we moved there from 6th grade, so middle school on. I was living on a farm.
Mhm.
And so with 5 siblings on a farm, you can get a lot of stuff done. You have a lot
Oh, I
of
imagine.
you have a lot of good experiences out there.
Lots of farmhands out there.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then when did have you always been into sports as like a kid growing up? Were you always playing sports?
Well, I was always playing sports. I don't know if I was always into them. I was always at least forced to play them
Okay.
by
Yeah.
my parents. I mean, I think I always liked them, but there definitely wasn't an option. And
Okay.
it definitely had to be soccer. I remember one time I asked my dad, I was like, so we're playing at recess, like, Dad, I think I'm pretty good at football, because I'm fast. And so I was having fun at recess, and he's like, that's cool. You can't play. Okay.
Shut that down
Yeah,
immediately.
he said, you can't play. It's same season as soccer. I was like, all right, there you go.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So, your dad has always been into soccer then?
Yeah, he played in school. He played at William and Mary, where I went to school.
Okay.
Which actually my grandfather played there, but he played basketball.
Okay. So you're a
and s-
third generation athlete at William and Mary.
Yeah, so both my grandparents were there. Both my parents, my uncle went there, and then my older brother went there. And
Oh,
then
wow.
I was getting recruited, and there was a lot of choices, you know.
Yeah.
I could go anywhere in Virginia in Williamsburg.
You could go to William and Mary or William and Mary or maybe William and Mary.
Yeah, basically. And so that streamlined the recruiting process. At least I didn't have to deal with too many visits and trying to figure stuff out, which
Yeah.
is nice.
So you obviously played collegiately and then played in the NPSL and Major Arena Soccer League. What are some of the differences between sort of like a self-contained collegiate season and the Wild West that is the NPSL?
Yeah, so for college, one thing I really don't like, and they've been trying to change this, but the season is really condensed. It's like 3 months total or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's a weird because you end up, at least last year, I covered Michigan soccer also. They were playing their NCAA tournament games in the snow.
Yeah,
That's just a weird vibe.
yeah, it's totally weird. And I mean, I didn't have that trouble in Williamsburg, but yeah, any team that's up north might deal with some of that. But so you play 2 games a week. You get in this rhythm of like 2 games a week, sometimes 1. And if you get injured at all, something minor, sprain your ankle, you're out for like a quarter of the season at
Yeah.
minimum. And then the other thing is if you play a game and your team's got something to work on, you can't because you have a day off and then you have a pregame practice and then you play the next game. And it's
Yeah.
just like this weird sort of cycle. And so it's really I liked college soccer a lot, but I always wish that it was a full year season or more spread out or something other than the season
Mhm.
that it is now. And then when you step back a bit, you really play 3 months of competitive soccer a year that means something to you, and then you wait, 9, and then you play again. And so I don't think it's really conducive to building really good soccer players, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the main thing I didn't really like about college soccer. But other than that, I loved it, and it's nice to have high-level MPSL teams. That's basically the thing, is you got to find high-level teams elsewhere to play for to keep you in that mindset of being super competitive to try to grow.
Now you're out here in Ann Arbor. What do you cook on your own?
Yeah, I cook a lot. I basically, like twice a week or maybe once a week, we'll just make the most absurd amount of food you've ever seen, and just put it all in the fridge. So I'll make like 2 pounds of pasta, a pound of chicken, and peppers and onions, a ton of it, just mix it all up, and then I'll eat the same thing for like
I was
a
going to say,
week.
do you get sick of eating the same thing? Or is it the price you pay?
No, I'm kind of savage when it comes to eating. If I'm hungry, I'm just going to go for it. Food is more of a fuel thing, I think, for me.
Okay. No enjoyment at all. Just get it and go, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a favorite place to eat in Ann Arbor, though?
Oh, so there's a couple spots I've been to that I really liked. I actually don't remember the name of the one. It's a little Jamaican spot.
Oh, like Jamaican jerk pit?
Is it really small and you go in the basement to eat?
It might be, yeah.
Well, so it was this super hole-in-the-wall place, and we go in the basement. It's really tight. Actually, to go to the bathroom, you walk through the kitchen for like 20 seconds. The cooks are just chopping up vegetables. I'm thinking, like, there's no way this is sanitary. I'm about to go to the bathroom and then walk back through here. But the jerk chicken was amazing. Wow, It was really good. So that was really good. And there's we've been to Grizzly Peak a couple times for pregame meals. I like that. There's a lot of breweries here that are really cool and sort of unique to Michigan, so I like going there because I don't think you find a ton of those places where I live, at least. So I like that a lot.
Do you have a favorite like type of food? You mentioned jerk chicken.
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings? You're
for sure.
Big chicken wing guy.
Yeah, or like bacon as far as just raw flavor.
Just straight up bacon.
There's not much better than a big piece of bacon. But yeah, chicken wings for sure. And we went to a little chicken wing place with one of the owners, Bilal, but I don't remember what it was called. But you could get some like 60 wings for $20, and
oh my god.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that spot too if you're a big wing eater. But I've actually been looking. Do you know of any unlimited wing deals in Ann Arbor?
Unlimited wing deals.
Or around Ann Arbor, you know?
There's got to be something, I think. But like I haven't seen it. I'm not a huge like chicken wing connoisseur.
Well, yeah, if anyone sees this and knows of a spot, I would really appreciate that.
Get back to Will with all your chicken wing places. So this is really entertaining, and to make it even more entertaining, we're gonna bring on Jake Rufe to tell a big story that he has teased previously off camera after his first podcast. We had him off camera, and you were like, I have a story about me in the Huntsville Police Department.
Yeah, I was trying to book myself a second episode.
You got it
I'm
successfully.
very glad to be back.
So we're happy to have you back.
Yeah, thanks.
So take us from the top for the second time.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the Huntsville Police Department?
Okay, so goes back to 10th grade.
Okay.
Right, sophomore year of high school. Me and my friend, his name was Balta, we would be exploring the woods behind my house because I live really close to the mountain. It's all just open woods, pretty much as far as you can hike. So we were mapping out the valley. So one day we see a camera up on a tree.
Oh, okay.
And, it's pretty unusual. So we go up, we're snapping some good poses and going up real close, like, good cheesy grins for the camera.
Yeah.
And
having a good time.
think nothing about it. We're just going on with our lives as usual. And then about 2 weeks later, in between first and second period, me and the same guy, Baltar, are just walking through the hall. And out of nowhere, the police officer that works at our school, like, perks up among the crowd of people and points at us and is like, "You two, stop!"
So he just calls you out of a crowd.
Calls us out of a crowd, right. So we're shocked. I was like looking around, like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought I was gonna get tased. I don't know. But so we're like stuck, and they're real serious. They bring like other police officers and like officials at the school and everything, and they put us in separate rooms.
Okay. Yeah,
trying
as
to
they
isolate
do.
us and see who cracks under the pressure.
Yeah.
It was not going to be me. I was emotionless, stoic even. I was just quick answers. Yes, no. right? But
Yeah.
I could tell that they were grilling my boy Balta pretty hard,
Yeah.
right? I was getting worried, and I could tell emotions were getting high. So eventually, I'm not saying I know what they're talking about at all, because I really didn't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they start showing me these pictures of me and Balta in the woods, and I was like, "What's going on?" And it's just like us standing in the back, looking menacing, and with my dog, and none of it is the good ones where I'm.
No. Yeah.
cheesing
You're
right in
wondering
front of
where
the
the good
camera,
ones are.
right?
You want
So-
those on record, you know?
Yeah,
Put them in
yeah.
a
I
scrapbook.
was wondering why they were withholding those.
Yeah.
You know, there has to be something wrong about that. But anyway, turns out that the police had suspected, or there had been some sort of poaching, illegal hunting
Okay.
going on up in the woods.
Yeah.
And the thing that just sets the Huntsville PD above the rest for me is that within a 2-week time span of a camera in the woods snapping a photo, not even a good photo,
Yeah. It's
and
just
then
you guys.
2 weeks later at our high school with, well over 1,500 students, this police officer who does not know us at all just snipes us
points
out
you
of a
guys
crowd.
out.
Yeah. And
Do you think they had like wanted posters up of you and your friend, like wanted in the high school?
yeah, I'm wondering if like at the police station they like emailed. I don't know, if I was wanted, I would have acted way differently. I would have gone off the grid. Still be off the grid today.
We wouldn't be having this interview.
Yeah. But they even sent a police officer to my house at the same time that they were questioning us.
Okay.
And my sister answered the door, and the police officer just asked, "Is this your brother?" And it was a picture of me
Yeah.
standing in the woods. And she was like, yeah. And then they were grilling her if we had guns and if we were hunting and all this kind of stuff.
That's so. At the end of the day, it was just like.
At the end of the day, it was a
nothing
big
happened,
misunderstanding, and they told us that we weren't allowed to go back in those woods. And
right? Really?
yeah, I think
They
that they
banned
could
you
have
from
been.
the
I think they
woods?
could have been hiding something,
Yeah. What could have been? Do you know of hunting in those woods?
Sometimes you hear shots.
Okay.
There's lots of deer up there. Coyotes you can hear when like ambulances and police go by in the neighborhood, and it's
Yeah.
like it makes the coyotes start howling.
Does it really?
Yeah, sometimes.
That's really
Not all the
funny.
time. Sometimes. There's been reports of mountain lions.
Okay.
I've never seen
Have
a
you
mountain
No,
lion.
you haven't seen one.
No, but I've been
Interesting.
up there enough. I wish I would have seen one, kind of.
And
Yeah.
so the official story there was they were looking for someone who was poaching deer, mountain lions.
No, no specifics.
Yeah, because there's a couple interesting pieces of that
Yeah,
story.
I see those wheels turning.
One being, so clearly you guys were goofing off in front of this camera,
Yes,
not
clearly.
trying to hide anything, and
No.
clearly young kids. And then it also seems like the police officer that was at your school must have gotten a full rundown on the pictures and must have been looking for you two
Yeah.
very clearly. And I'm sure he wasn't the only one, because how would they know? I mean, I guess maybe the location would say your high school.
Say it would suggest my high school.
And
Yeah.
so they would probably have a couple in the area they were looking for.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me. And I don't know if you ever watched Stranger Things, but it's eerily similar to the plot of that.
Wow.
You know how there's that governmental...
And there's a very big arsenal in Huntsville.
There you go. And so you guys were getting into something that they didn't want you to know about, it seems like to me.
That's what it
Pretty clearly.
seems.
Why else would you be looking for a bunch of kids and interrogating little girls at their house?
Well, my sister was older than me, but yeah, it applies. Yeah.
Still interesting.
And so what do you think
Think
they
you're
were...
onto something.
If they were hiding something, what do you think it would have been?
That is a great question.
Do you think there could have been undocumented UFOs in the Huntsville, Alabama area?
I don't know. It's the Space and Rocket Center is located.
That's true.
in
That's a good
Huntsville.
point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about UFOs? You think they exist? They're real?
At this point, I would need evidence to prove that they're not.
Yeah.
Evidence to prove that they're not.
Yeah.
So it's
This-
like they exist till you're proven that they don't.
That's how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah. Well, have you seen like the fighter jet footage of these beams of light that are in the targeting system and then immediately escape the targeting system of the fighter, and there's no
haven't.
craft possible?
Can we pull that up right now?
I
I've
wish we
seen
could.
it.
Jamie? Yeah, so I think that there's a chance UFOs exist, or at least these maybe not alien, but at least UFOs from other parts of the world that are
Yeah.
super, super advanced. And
What
I wouldn't be
percentage?
surprised.
What percentage do you give aliens existing?
Aliens visiting the world now already, I would say 30% chance.
30%. Okay. How'd you
Ooh,
hear about
I
Aliens
like it.
existing in the universe? 100%.
100%.
That's
You're
strong.
confident.
That's
What do you think,
bold.
Jake?
Aliens having visited here,
Yeah.
as in people from other planets.
Yeah. As
Uh,
in UFO making contact, like within the stratosphere, let's say.
Yeah, I would say less than 10%.
Less than 10%?
Yeah, that guy was a great guest appearance there.
Out here in the garden.
That's the risks we take, I guess,
Yeah.
filming in the Arb, you know? But less than 10%. What about existing in general?
Yeah, I think that it's probably not what we're expecting. Maybe there's other life in the universe. We're not gonna find another planet, but I would say find like an alien how you see in the movies. I think it's very low.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So people walking by are probably thinking we're on like a conspiracy theory podcast. We definitely aren't. I'll gear a last couple of questions towards soccer since I have both of you guys
Yes,
on.
please.
The most recent match, 4-1 victory over FC Columbus. You had a fantastic assist during that game. Take me through sending that third goal for Jared. What was?
Yeah, so I was playing a little bit different role than in the games previous. I was sitting a bit deeper, and I think that I just was feeling comfortable playing those long balls on the day, and I turned and played it out, and it was a little bit farther than I anticipated, right? So you kind of saw me like slide into that pass.
Yeah.
And I had some critics. One of my Western teammates,
Okay.
a Canadian kid, he was calling me out saying I'm always falling down on my long balls.
Yeah.
But you
It
can
worked
see the
that
results.
time.
It had to have been done. It had to be done. But yeah, I saw it was a great run from Doss. I could see him kind of just like waving behind the defender, and the defender had no idea. So
Yeah.
he didn't see it coming either. A great finish by Doss, touched it right around the keeper. So
It was a nice goal to watch for sure.
yeah, and it was special because my parents were in the crowd for
I met
this
them.
weekend's games. Yep. So they made the trip up. So it was really good to get that assist in front of them.
Definitely. So this one more geared toward both of you. 4-goal game for you guys against FC Columbus. Nice to get back. I mean, you guys have scored 7 goals against Columbus this season. Is that good? Good momentum heading into these upcoming the playoff hunt is well and truly on at this point.
Yeah, I'll start. Absolutely. We have, was it 6 games left? 6 games left. So I mean, we have a whole half of the season left, and just to get this win, get this momentum going into that second half, and having everyone believing like this is how it is from now on, it's
Absolutely.
really big.
Yeah, and I would just add to that. I mean, scoring's such a hard thing in soccer, and I think we haven't been short of any chances in our games. And after that, I think the floodgates are kind of open, and I would expect us to be putting in a lot of goals in these next coming games.
All right. Are you looking forward to any of the upcoming games on the schedule, or is it just one game at a time?
Yeah, one game at a time for me, but also I missed, with the hamstring injury, I missed the first Detroit game, so I'm looking forward to playing against them.
All right. Jake, do you have a particular game in mind that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to playing Grand Rapids again.
Grand Rapids away.
Anybody that's beat us on the season is going to be an immediate circle on the calendar for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Will, Jake, thank you guys for coming on and talking. I appreciate it. Jake, thank you for coming back on again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure. Thank you all for watching or listening, as always. You can follow us on Twitter at AFCN Arbor, and stay tuned to afcnarbor.com for all the latest team news. Until next time, I'm Ryan McCooch. Take care.